Have you ever wondered why we call French fries, or why something is the greatest thing since sliced bread? There are answers to those questions. Everything Everywhere Daily is a podcast for curious people who want to learn more about the world around them. Every day, you'll learn something new about things you never knew you didn't know. Subjects include history, science, geography, mathematics, and culture. If you're a curious person and want to learn more about the world you live in, just subscribe to Everything Everywhere Daily wherever you cast your pod.
Fear is the virus is trending on TikTok. Vaccines are poison. Then your yoga teacher says that sex-trafficked children are being sacrificed by satanic liberals, but it's all okay. The Great Awakening is coming. What is happening? Every week on Conspirituality Podcast, we explore the fever dreams that suck friends, family, and wellness gurus down the right-wing cult spiral in a search for salvation.
We are ready to save money and live better today on Tennis Podcast. My name is Nick Amell. I'm the host of the Tennis Podcast. Every week, either myself or one of my rotating guest sidekick hosts bring a top tennis list on a topic, along with fun facts and trivia. The other person does not know the list ahead of time and tries to guess all items on the list, along with you, the fine folks at home. Today, my special guest is a non-special person, and that's Stephen Clark.
Hello, special guests. I am the non-special person.
Wow, hang on. I gotta give everyone a minute to pick themselves off the floor. I think everyone just passed out of boredom there in that 5 seconds. Okay.
Or excitement.
Giving everyone a second. All right. Steven, this is your main feed episode debut. How do you feel?
Day-butt. Feel happy to be here. Ready to impress everybody.
They could have just spelled words how they sound, you know. No one made these rules that they had to be spelled ways that they weren't actually spelled. Like debut is spelled debut. So why is that?
Whose debut do you think is better? Alex's or Buster's?
Well, it depends on. If you're looking for just straight utility and getting it done, getting you what you need, it's Dr. Buster. If you're looking for a smooth, sensuous experience that is like sliding down a slope of vanilla ice cream, then you go with Alex John's debut. Okay, well, for the folks at home, let me explain who Steven is. He is a lifelong friend. I've known him almost 20 years. He's also mutual friends of me, Dr. Buster and Alex Johns. We've talked about Steven a lot in the past. He's the one who cut up the Halo disc. He's the one who has sexual relations with spiders. And he was on a Tennis Pod Plus exclusive bonus episode back in February, but like I said, this is his main episode debut. And he's very nervy, he let me know, because he's going to be guessing his very first top tennis list today.
Very nervy. Never considered myself a trivia person, but I do want to throw this out there that anybody who is not a Tennis bonus member, you should become one and go listen to the episode, because there will be some faint sounds of sexual intercourse with spiders if you wait till the end of the episode, like a little bonus. It's like at the end of a Marvel movie.
You're telling me that you were having sex with spiders, that whole conversation we had, and I didn't know it?
No, it was at the end.
Oh.
It was the bonus footage.
Can you imagine a human having sex with a spider? Do you know how delicate the human would have to be to not destroy the spider?
Hey, depends on the spider. Look at Shelob from Lord of the Rings. Wouldn't have to be very delicate with that one.
You know, when people talk about bestiality, they're usually talking about like a horse or a dog. They're usually not talking about a tarantula. Can you fucking imagine? The visual I have right now is just, I don't know, Steven.
I say, why limit yourself, you know?
Wow. Well, tell the folks a little about you. Just any random thing that will get them to better know Stephen Clark, the man.
Okay. Well, live in Colorado and work in construction and have a cat.
Her name's Gracie, very sensual. Not as sensual as Alex John's bum, but pretty close. Stephen, I had a random memory that I wanted to bring. I know you remember this, but for the listeners, me and Stephen started hanging out in high school, and there was a favorite pastime we had along with Dr. Buster. This is probably 10th grade or so, maybe 11th. We would go out at nighttime and relocate people's furniture. So imagine, this was the height of hilarity to us when we were 16, the idea of this.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up one morning, you're a family, and you go outside, and your fucking lawn furniture is sitting in the house across the street on their porch. And you immediately think, well, those sons of bitches must have stole my lawn furniture. But really, in reality, it was me and Steven picking up that lawn furniture and carrying it around like little worker ants to the other side of the street and putting it there. Now, we did this often, hundreds of times probably. But there was one time we did this, and the next day, I got a knock on the door, and I answered it, and it was a police officer, and the jig was up. And it's because, turns out, Steven conveniently dropped his wallet at the site of one of these furniture relocation expeditions. That's big enough on its own. But so the police find Steven, they say, hey, we found your wallet. And Steven immediately goes, my friend Nick, you got to go to his house. He moved all the furniture. It was his idea. Go talk to him. He fucking sung like a canary. You want to dispute any of that?
Well, no, I don't dispute it. I caved. I caved. My little 16-year-old brain caved. But I do remember I was getting ready for work that morning, and I couldn't find my wallet. And they showed up at the morning of me getting ready to work, and I remember having the conversation with them, and as they walked away, I thought, how the hell could they have known that it was me who was there, that I moved furniture? How could they
found
ever
your
piece
exact
all that
address?
together?
Yeah.
And then the cop turned around as he was walking away and said, oh, by the way, I think you're going to need this. And he handed me my wallet. And then it all came together.
I forgot that part. But by then, you had already ratted out every single friend in your entire address book, right?
Yeah, well, you slighted me in the past, and I thought, you know what, Nick deserves this. He had it coming anyway.
It's funny that the cop even wasted his time coming to my house, because it's not like he arrested me. Nothing happened. He just told me, like, hey, you shouldn't do that.
Well, he told me I was lucky they weren't pressing charges, is what he said. Yeah. I was like, well, press charges. I didn't damage anything. I just moved something.
Yeah. There was other times where we did damage things, but not that night. Anyway, speaking of damaging things, when something becomes damaged, Steven, and you need to replace it, you need a new item, where might you go to do that?
The internet.
Okay, be a little more specific. Well, not just the internet.
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us, yeah. You're just not going to make this easy, are you?
Walmart.
Walmart. Bingo. I'm going to insert a little ding, ding, ding sound effect. Steven, today you're going to be guessing the top 10 best-selling products at your friendly neighborhood Walmart.
Of all time, of last year, of where's
last year.
Oh, okay.
So what's your immediate reaction to that?
Well, my immediate reaction is things like toilet paper, things that everybody buys on a daily basis.
Everybody, huh? You're just going to assume what everybody buys in their house? You just assume everybody uses toilet paper? Wow. Okay.
Well, not all of us use, I don't know, rags. I don't know. Dish. Used up, the dryer sheets that you throw in the dryer. You just, instead of throwing those away, you just repurpose them.
Wow. Okay, see, we're learning together more about Steven as we go here. And I think the longer we go, the more the listeners will understand, yeah, I could see this guy leaving his wallet at the scene of a crime.
Yeah, if they haven't already.
The best-selling products at Walmart, this comes from a number of places, BusinessInsider.com, Statista.com, Walmart's own annual financial reports, Wikipedia, and the actual ranking itself comes from Zippia.com. I know you're a frequent visitor of Zippia.com, Steven.
Every day.
I actually have some problems with this list that I'll get into later, but I'll cover that later. This really just gives us an excuse. Most of my notes just have to deal with Walmart as a company, because there's some really interesting things there. Longtime listeners might remember I did a very similar episode with Disney back on episode 78. Covered the largest revenue segments of Disney. It's basically what we're doing for Walmart in a way. So these are the top 10 individual products that are sold most based on volume, Steven, not revenue or profit. So we're not saying item A brought in $20 million. We're saying item A sold 20 million units. Okay?
Okay.
Steven, what do you think are some safe bets to not be in the top 10?
I'm going to guess Crocs.
Now, I know this is your first time on the show. I don't want you to embarrass yourself right out of the gate. Do you want me to edit out that terrible guess?
No, I think it was fantastic.
You're right. Crocs are not in the top 10. Give me some of these kind of borderline items. I'm going to give you some. You tell me yes or no. Do you think there's a chance they're in the top 10? Do you think soap might be in the top 10?
Is that every variety of soap? Whatever
Yes.
it could be? Okay. I think it's possible, yeah.
Pickles.
No.
Cheese Whiz.
No.
Some hot takes. Suit and tie.
Absolutely not.
Now, why do you say absolutely not with such conviction, Steven?
Nobody is going to Walmart to buy a suit and tie. Yep.
Really? Well, there's a couple million people around the world right now that are saying, well, by God, somebody's doing it. They sell them there.
Do they really?
They must, I think.
It's been a long time since I've been in a Walmart, actually.
I don't buy that for a second. All right, the next one is lingerie.
Yes.
Turtle food.
Turtle food.
In the pet section.
Yeah. Does that count as lettuce?
Don't they have like little pellets too that you can give them?
Yeah, they probably do. But I've also seen some taking a mean chomp at some lettuce.
You don't know what the fuck
Little
you're talking
lettuce
about.
head.
You're not a turtle expert. All right, my last one is severed limbs. Do you think there's any severed limbs flying off the shelves at Walmart?
Now, see, if we were talking about my second guess, which was Toys R Us, yes. But since we're talking about Walmart, no, I just don't think there's a chance there. Toys R Us has specialties that Walmart can't really get
Toys R Us
into.
don't exist anymore, fam. They're gone.
They don't? They're
Yeah,
gone?
they went out of business, I think, like a year ago, maybe 2. And a big part of that is Walmart, who's the #1 seller of toys in the world.
But not severed limbs.
Not severed limbs, no. I think it's number 11 on the top. Yeah, just barely
okay.
missed. Let's start with some hashtag fun facts from hashtag Nick's Notes about Walmart, the company. As of October 2022, Walmart has almost 11,000 stores and clubs, because they own Sam's Club as well, in 24 countries, operating under 46 different names. It is the world's largest company by revenue. It exceeded $572 billion last year, Stephen.
Wow.
Walmart sells over 75 million individual products. Most of those are online, to be fair, because they have online-only items. There's 150 million visitors to Walmart stores every week in the world. Or, about a third of that's equal to a third of the US population. It's actually more than that are going inside a Walmart every day of the year. Stephen, 90% of Americans live within 15 minutes of a Walmart.
It's close.
And by 2017, the company noted that 95% of US shoppers have spent money at least once in a Walmart in their lives. Can you name another store, like a single brand store, where 95% of Americans have spent money in it? Besides Toys R Us.
No, I don't know if I can. Unless you... Okay, well, it's not really a store. I was going to say like McDonald's or something, but it's not really a store.
No, I think that counts. It's a different kind of store, but it is a store.
Yeah.
I would guess that McDonald's doesn't have 95%, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I do want to point out, I think you said that Walmart sells 75 million individual products, and I'm about to guess the top 10 out of 75 million, so that's probably more impressive than any other list that you've ever guessed.
Wow, okay.
I don't think any list you've had has had 75 million possibilities, and I'm about to nail down 10 out of that.
I'm so impressed. Like, I'm actually taken aback. Like, I feel my heart pumping at such a rate because my body composition is changing with the impressed nature of... I've lost it. I've lost myself in this description. But the takeaway here, is I'm so impressed with you, Stephen. But guess what? You haven't guessed a single fucking thing yet. So why don't we...
Hey, we're getting there.
2 more quick things and then I'll turn you loose. Walmart is the largest private employer in the world with 2.2 million employees. In fact, there's more people working for Walmart than there is military soldiers in America. 1.4 million military in America, 2.2 million employees at Walmart.
What if you had a battle royale and you chose to pit Walmart up with the military? And I mean, yeah, you've got the military and their budget, but on Walmart, you've got 75 million individual products. And you could get pretty creative with those products.
And they got the numbers, because there's 2.2 million Walmart employees versus 1.4 million active military in the United States. Before those 2.2 million go to war, which includes all the old people greeters, by the way, so they're gonna hurt your numbers a little bit. But they're gonna ransack the local Walmart to find, and they sell guns there. I mean, we're gonna talk more about that later. But you could find anything you want to go to war, and I think Walmart might have it.
Definitely not a pushover.
So, Stephen, if you were to pit one young, active, 20-something-year-old member of the U.S. military versus 100 old man greeters at the front of a Walmart, who wins and why? 100 of them.
I got to give it to...
Hand-to-hand combat here.
Okay, you're talking 200 hands against 2. I mean, you got to give it to the old men Walmart greeters. They've seen some shit.
But think about the arthritis.
And, the other thing is they've ran out of fucks to give is the real thing here.
Wow.
The 20-something-year-old's got a family to go home to. He's got things to think about, future to think about. These old Walmart greeters, they're ready to throw it all on the line.
Are they, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'd love to see that, though. That's a movie idea for any screenwriters listening right now.
If I saw that alongside Sharknado, I would go see that.
Instead of Sharknado, it's, what do you call it? Walmart-nado? Walmart Greeter-nado?
Oh, man.
It's just did you ever see World War Z with Brad Pitt?
I actually didn't, no.
It's a zombie movie, but the zombies in World War Z all combined to form like an ongoing wave of like destruction. That's how I feel the Walmart greeters are. They all kind of connect almost like a Transformer or a Power Rangers, how they would connect. And they become one large Walmart greeter. But instead of punching you or stomping on you to win, they actually just check your receipts before you try to leave the door.
You walk out and the beep goes off. They think you've stolen something. Immediately, they create their gigantic... And then when you show them the receipt, they go, "Oh, I'm sorry for the mistake," and then they just disassemble right in front of you.
No, I think this is how they win the war, because they take so long to read the receipt, because they got to bring out the reading glasses. You give up, and you say, take Ukraine, take it. We can't, we give up. See, this is good content. All right, my last note about Walmart is that it was listed on the New York Stock Exchange in 1972, and by 1988, it was the most profitable retailer in the U.S., so it has been on top for going on 40 years now. Steven, what do you think is in the top 10 best-selling products in Walmart last year?
Well, this will be tough. So if I just say soda,
that
counts for, all right. That's going to be my first guess is soda.
Again, did you want me to edit out your bad guesses here, or do you want to... I think soda's actually a good guess, but it's not in here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What about water?
These are damn good guesses, but no. See, this is my problem with this list. I wonder about this list, because some of the things on here, we'll get to that. But there are everyday items. You're on the right track.
Okay. Well, let me change gear a little bit, and I said it earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Toilet paper.
Toilet paper. It is in the top 10. Where do you think it ranks?
Let's put it in the 7 to 9 range.
Remember how impressed I was with you earlier?
Yeah, is it gone?
It's dissipating, just like those Walmart greeters dissipating from their super greeter form. It's number 2.
Really?
Toilet paper is the second best-selling item in all of Walmart. Walmart sells 330 million rolls per week. 330 million per week.
I thought that toilet paper would be lower because that's not, everybody buys it, but you don't buy it every single time you go to Walmart, I don't know. I'm trying to think of things that somebody would buy every single time they go, which is why I said soda, especially
toilet paper might be
in America, but, well, my guess.
If you're only going to Walmart,
I guess I don't have, a family. I don't have kids and everything to handle.
No one loves you. I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Toilet paper, I think, is something most people buy when they go grocery shopping, right?
Okay.
So 330 million rolls per week. Steven, how many of these are bought exclusively by Dr. Buster?
How many per week?
330 million.
330 million. I'm going to give him the 50 to 60 million range.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of surface area to deal with a lot of surface area. You know what I mean?
But what I'm wondering is, does he need toilet paper when the booty clap is so strong it might just clean itself? Kind of like a dog that shakes itself to dry itself off from water?
I don't know. I feel like you're just spreading the mess around at that point. I think
know.
before you initiate the clap, you want to be clean.
Well, it depends on who's asking, right?
What you're into.
Steven, what's your favorite kind of toilet paper? What's your favorite way to use toilet paper? Do you rub up and down or down and up? Side to side?
I think it's Quilted Northern.
Fucking corporate sellout, Jesus Christ.
It's what my mom has always gotten, so I just kind of always kept getting it. And then I'm a folder.
Really?
Yep, not a water. I feel like you're wasting space.
It's not efficient, you're saying?
Yeah.
I think this is divisive, and probably half of our listenership just decided they don't like this Steven sidekick host guy. He's folding his toilet paper? What's he doing? Well, let me ask you this. When you put a new toilet paper roll on the roller thing, do you put it to where how do I describe this?
It flips over the front.
Yeah, flips over the front and not under the bottom.
I don't like when it's dangling behind the roll. I like it dangling in front of the roll, facing you.
But also, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm totally with you there. And anyone that does do the behind fold, how did you describe it? The dangles behind the roll?
Yeah,
Anyone who does that, fucking unsubscribe.
unsubscribe.
Steven, that's number 2 toilet paper. What other papery products might be in the top 10?
I also said this, and I'm gonna guess both of them, but we'll start since you said papery. I'm gonna guess dryer sheets.
You think dryer sheets is more than soda and all the other stuff you said?
Well, I was surprised that soda wasn't on there, but now I'm trying to think. I mean, I never buy dryer sheets. The box seems infinite, honestly, sometimes. I'm surprised that, I open it, I'm like, how are there still this many in there?
Well, how many are you buying at a time? How many come in a box?
It's just a box. I don't know, standard box. I don't look at the count.
Steven, he doesn't wash his clothes. This is what we're learning. Look, I'm actually looking at this list now. 4 of the 10 items on this list are a paper or paper-like product.
All right, how about notebooks?
No, really good guess, but no. What is the closest cousin to toilet paper?
Oh, paper towels.
Paper towels is number 8. This makes sense to me. I buy paper towels a lot.
Yeah.
Although, not from Walmart, because now we buy the sustainable kind, but we go through paper towels like a motherfucker. It's the 8th best-selling product at Walmart, and as of 2020, paper towels are a $6 billion industry just in the United States alone. The industry leader is Bounty, which holds about 26% of the market share. Steven, what's your paper towel brand of choice?
Bounty. But I also like the rectangular squares. I don't like the ones that give you the actual square. I like the rectangular cut ones. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. They're smaller,
because I don't
right?
need the huge. Yeah, I don't need the huge square every single time.
What do you think, besides piss, shit, and semen, what do you think the next closest thing is that you clean up most with paper towels? Oh, and
Snot.
blood and vomit. Snot, you think?
For me, I blow my nose with them. I don't know why, but I do.
What? Oh, fucking freak. Freak alert. Oh my God. Somebody call the police. He blows his nose with paper towels. I'm just kidding. I do that too. But my wife did react almost that severely one time when she saw me do it because it's rough. The whole point of a tissue or a Kleenex is it's soft and gentle on the nose.
But it's too thin. I feel like I can't really get a good blow in there.
Well, for me, it's paper towels they're more handy. Because Kleenex, I got to walk all the way to the bathroom. Paper towels are usually in the kitchen. And, you're in the kitchen much more often than other places, so. With about 200 episodes of Tennis Podcast and counting, it can be overwhelming to know which episode to listen to next. I get it. I got you. That's why we created the Tennis Podcast Episode Guide. It's a quick and easy way to find the next best Tennis Pod episode for you. It groups episodes by topic, so if you're in the mood for true crime, then you can easily navigate to that section that has all of our true crime related episodes in one convenient place. We have dozens of categories like this, including episodes relating to animals, history, food, movies, and more. But what if you're looking for a specific discussion from a past episode and you can't remember which episode it was? Well, we have a tool for that too. The Tennis Podcast Episode Guide features a transcription search, which means you can input a phrase or word, hit search, and it will return the exact timestamp from the episodes that mention that word or phrase. In fact, every episode on our website features a full interactive transcript. So, which episode will you listen to next? Go to tennispod.com/episode-guide to get started, or check the show notes for a direct link. That's tennispod.com/episode-guide.
If you had the right information, could you create a better life? I'm Chris Stemp, the host of Smart People Podcast, one of the best podcasts you've probably never heard of. My producer, John, and I started the podcast 12 years ago when we got burnout on corporate America and wanted to figure out a better way. We've asked top global experts, including Brené Brown, Simon Sinek, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and hundreds more, how to create a better life. With over 10 million downloads, this is one you don't want to miss. Subscribe and follow Smart People Podcast wherever you listen.
Hi. Do you know someone who has never listened to a podcast?
It might sound bananas to you and me, but those people are out there.
If we want the podcast industry to grow, we need more listeners.
That's why this April, Tink Media is launching Adopt a Listener Month.
We're asking you to find someone who says,
podcasts are my thing.
and give them a thoughtful recommendation to change their mind, something that will get them hooked.
Go to tinkmedia.co/adopt to sign up, find resources, and learn how you can get involved.
Well, let's knock the rest of the paper-esque products out of the way. There's something else you're missing.
All right. Is printer paper on there?
No, good guess.
No, nobody buys like printer paper? Okay.
I do.
Well, I guess we're becoming more and more digital these days. Those damn kids. Those damn millennials.
Damn millennials. Aren't we millennials?
Yeah.
What are we? Are we millennials?
No, we are millennials. I think to be a millennial, it's like the cutoff is like 1985 or something like that.
I'm checking. 1982 to 1994. Yep.
Yeah.
Those damn millennials. All right. Think about something you would also keep in the bathroom, perhaps next to the toilet paper. Not every family uses this. I think this is much more common in households with children.
Well, tissue paper?
No. Adults use these too, but I think it's more so children.
Oh, is it like baby wipes?
Close enough. It's flushable wipes.
Flushable wipes.
Yeah. This is a foreign concept to you, Stephen Clark.
I've never used them.
A flushable wipe, it's essentially like a wet wipe, like a baby wipe, except you can also flush it down the toilet.
And you would use it in lieu of toilet paper?
Right. Or in addition to.
Oh, okay.
Flushable wipes are controversial, Stephen. They might go down the toilet easily, but that's not the whole story, because oftentimes they stay intact further down the pipes and can cause what plumbers refer to as a fatberg or ragging, which is a massive blockage. So I've heard this from plumbers, actually, that the number one thing they see in like backed up sewage pipes is these quote-unquote disposable wipes. Because people think you can flush them and that they disintegrate like toilet paper, but they do not.
No.
In fact, researchers at Ryerson University in Ontario tested 23 flushable wipe brands and found that only 2 of the 23 even partially disintegrate, and none of them fully break down. And there's pictures out there, horror stories. Do a Google search, kids, if you want to see. It's pretty disgusting. But these like mountains of flushable wipes sitting in these landfills that are just going to sit there forever.
I just never got them. I feel like if you're not satisfied with the level of clean that you're getting from just toilet paper, then go get yourself a bidet.
Wow. Stephen, you were dropping all kinds of toilet paper related hot takes today.
I don't own a bidet. I feel like it'd be weird to use it. Never used one.
You've never used one? They're nice.
Maybe I'd start to like it. I don't know.
They're nice.
Do you have one?
No, but I've used it.
Oh, okay.
But, you know.
Where could you have used it if you don't own it?
Hotels.
Hotels have them?
Fancy ones. Not all of us are fancy, Stephen.
No, definitely not me.
No. You might be a fancy boy, but you're not a fancy man.
So what number was this flushable wipe?
6. You have 6 flushable wipe,
okay.
8 paper towel, 2 toilet paper. There's one more thing, and it's not actually paper, but it's a similar purpose to the things we've covered so far. You know, cleaning, wiping.
Is it like sanitizing wipes?
Yeah.
You know, that people clean with?
Yeah, close enough. This is disposable washcloths, which I think...
Disposable washcloth?
I think that falls into that.
Yeah, I'm thinking like there's like Lysol
like
has
Clorox
theirs.
wipes.
I think Clorox has one. Yeah, Clorox wipe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I think that's what they're referring to here, but I don't know. But they're number 7. They're actually above paper towels.
What was this called?
Disposable washcloth. You mean you don't use a disposable washcloth to clean your vagina?
Nope. We do use the like the Lysol or Clorox wipes when we clean the kitchen and wipe down the counters.
Yeah. Well, that's
and
something
sometimes
else.
in the bathroom.
A lot like that, and I use those too. So I'm not casting judgment here, but that's something else like the flushable wipes that just sit in a landfill forever. You know? It's amazing that the earth, well, really the oceans, have all this space to hold all of our shitty trash, you know?
I do feel guilty.
You should.
I should switch to something else.
Yeah, fuck you, Stephen. You're ruining the planet. Thanks a lot. Let's take a break from the list and give you some fun facts about the history of Walmart. Do you know the founder of Walmart, his name?
No.
Are you even an American?
I was trying to remember what the family is that owns Walmart.
Walton family.
Yeah, the Walton, yeah.
1945, businessman and former J.C. Penney employee Sam Walton bought a branch of Ben Franklin stores from the Butler brothers. His primary focus was selling products at low prices to get higher volume sales at a lower profit margin, portraying it as a crusade for the consumer. So for those that don't know, in retail, profit margin is very small compared to other things. So like sometimes you only make a penny or a fraction of a penny per sale. So it's all a volume game. You got to sell a bunch of them, which is what Walmart, specializes in. The company officially became Walmart Stores Inc. in 1970. They opened their first distribution center in Bentonville, Arkansas, where they're still based to this day. By the mid-1990s, Walmart was the most powerful retailer in the U.S. and expanded into Mexico in 1991 and Canada in 1994. They opened throughout the rest of the U.S., with Vermont being the very last state to get a store in 1995, so all 50 states have a Walmart. Today, about 65% of Walmart's global sales come from its U.S. division. Stephen, what would you guess are the top 3 states that have Walmarts in them?
Well, I guess it'd be the biggest state. Texas has got to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess California?
Texas, Florida, California. Texas has 593 Walmarts.
Did you say that Walmart was created because somebody bought a store called Ben Franklin?
Ben Franklin Stores. So I'm guessing there was a branch
never heard of a
stores.
Ben Franklin store.
Well, this is the 40s. I don't know.
Oh.
I guess
obviously they're out of business now. I've just never...
When Ben Franklin wasn't busy discovering electricity, he was out there selling stores.
Making baby Walmarts before they grew into real Walmarts. Yeah. Evolved like Pokemon.
Stores that evolve into... Well, I think that's brick and mortar stores evolved into online stores. And then we'll have virtual reality stores next, and then stores that live in our minds. You just think about going to a store, and then you're there. The future's
and then
bright.
Just taking baby steps to the Matrix, where we're all living in a little tube, and then just living in a virtual world.
Now you're getting it. This was actually Sam Walton's motto. I think he even got it tattooed on him at some point. That we're all going to live in baby tubes in the Matrix.
Truly ahead of his time.
In 2002, Walmart was listed for the first time as America's largest corporation on the Fortune 500, and every year since 2002, it has been the #1 company in the world, except for 2006, 09, and 2012. Other than that, for 20 years strong, Walmart's the biggest company in the world. And the Walton family, who owns Walmart, is an American family whose collective fortune derived from Walmart makes them the richest family in the United States of America.
It's surprising that Amazon hasn't caught up by this point.
But they're not a family. It's just Jeff Bezos. I think Amazon is 2 or 3, number 2 or 3, but Walmart's number 1. So, doesn't everyone feel good about helping out Walmart now? With our...
Hey, like I said, I haven't been to Walmart in a long time, but I am guilty of buying things on Amazon, so...
Yeah, well, so am I, and I occasionally will pick up something at Walmart. Like I said, it's not my default or go-to store, but if I need something and I'm out and there's a Walmart right there, sure, I'll go pick up something, but I think most people do that. So, why don't you give another guess?
All right, how about chips?
No chips. There's only one edible item in the top 10.
Is it candy?
No.
Oh.
You won't guess it. I mean...
Not candy, not chips.
It's healthy.
Is it fruit?
Kind of fruit.
A kind of fruit. Apples?
Nope.
I'm trying to think what fruit...
Is that the only fruit you know?
Apples. I'm just trying to think.
Now, what fruit could you stick inside yourself really easily?
I don't know. Bananas?
A banana.
Yeah.
I think that's why they're number 1, Stephen. The banana is the number 1 best-selling item in all of Walmart.
Is it really? It's number 1? Wow.
It is number 1 by far.
You're right. It's because they're multi-purpose. You're right.
Stick it in your ass, stick it in your vagina, stick it in your penis, stick it up your
Your
nose,
ear?
stick it in your
Doesn't matter.
mouth, stick it in your muffler, stick it in your tarantula, whatever you got to do. Bananas are number 1. They sell over 1.5 billion pounds per year at Walmart. The grocery segment of Walmart, so this is all groceries, not just bananas, make up 56% of all Walmart sales. This has nothing to do with bananas, but I didn't know where else to stick this in the notes. I saw a thing that said Walmart tracks shoppers' buying habits and adjusts accordingly. That's probably no surprise. So, what does Walmart stock up on before a big storm hits? Stephen, you know that, especially in Oklahoma where we grew up. Whenever there was a whiff of a storm coming, the fucking shelves would be empty.
Eggs, bread, and milk would always be gone.
But not just that, because strawberry Pop-Tarts, according to the New York Times, are
How specific.
7 times more sales of Pop-Tarts, strawberry Pop-Tarts, when bad weather's coming.
You know, when I lived with Sebastian, he did something that blew my mind, and he put Pop-Tarts in the freezer. And I thought, what a weird thing to do. Why would you do that? But he he was right. It's like a little frozen treat. It's almost like ice cream in a way, like any kind of little ice cream bar. That's what it kind of turned into. I liked it.
I'm just letting that sit for a minute. Anything else? Any other?
You don't have to tell me how groundbreaking it was. I thought it was groundbreaking when I was living with the man, but hey, don't knock it till you try it. That's what I say. Everybody at home, go put your Pop-Tarts in the freezer. Thank me later.
That doesn't work because you pull it out and it's rock hard. You can't eat it.
No, it's just like anything else in the freezer, but it's not rock hard. It's firm, but it's not rock hard.
That's what she said. What else do you put in the freezer, Steven? Bodies?
And I guess it's not that weird, but when I worked at my first job, they put bread in the freezer, which that was weird to me.
I've seen people put chips in the freezer. Is that where you draw the line on chips?
That's where I draw the line.
They do it not because they like frozen chips. They do it for preserving. What do you think is the worst thing you could put in the freezer that you would then have to eat immediately?
Eat immediately after putting it in the
imagine freezer? Chunky Campbell soup.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Chicken noodle soup. Eating frozen soup.
Yep.
You know, at the zoo, they would take pickle juice.
Steven worked at the zoo.
They would sell the pickles, but then they would repurpose the juice and freeze it and sell it as popsicles. And you could get a pickle juice flavored popsicle.
That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. And the person that came up with that is a serial killer psychopath. The person that likes that is Dr. Buster, because Dr. Buster drinks pickle juice straight out of the jar, and that's no bullshit.
If you sell even one, it was worth it, because instead of pouring that pickle juice down the drain, you've repurposed it. You've sold it.
No, it's not worth it for one, because it took the man labor to pour out the juice, freeze it, take it out, sell it.
They were going to pour it out anyway.
But they didn't have to go through the act of freezing it. There's extra steps in there, Steven.
What, setting it in the freezer?
And taking it out.
Oh, those poor people.
Well, speaking of poor people, what could poor people probably not buy at a Walmart? This is a higher end item. This is not your everyday item.
Television.
Television is the 4th best-selling item at a Walmart.
See, I was thinking about guessing TV, but then I thought, again, I'm trying to think, buying something every time you go to the store. I don't doubt that people buy TVs, but, I mean, you're not buying it every time you walk into Walmart like some of these other items. So I'm just surprised because it's based on volume.
Earlier when I mentioned I had a problem with this list, my problem comes with the number 3, 4, and 5. You haven't guessed 3 and 5 yet, but 4 is television. And it's because I just have a hard time believing that there's more televisions sold than apples, for example, you know, or chips.
Yep.
So I don't know. According to this list, which again came from Zippia.com, television is the 4th best-selling product. And as of 2021, there are over 1.7 billion households with a television in the world, which is actually lower than I thought. So that means a little less than 1/4 of homes have a TV in it.
Less than 1/4.
I guess when you consider like developing countries and stuff like that, maybe it's not so surprising.
Yeah.
In the United States, who do you think is the number 1 TV brand?
Samsung?
Samsung. 42 million TVs sold annually, followed by LG.
Yeah, I was going to say LG was going to be my second guess.
I like LGs.
Yeah, I like LG because Samsungs, I mean, on average, I feel like are a little more expensive, but LGs, you still get quality and they're not as expensive.
Okay, you working for LG now? You get a commission every time you talk about them?
LG, if you're listening, just unsubscribe from this show.
Oh, wow. Steven, do you remember when TVs weighed 2,000 pounds and cost $4,000?
I don't remember the $4,000 part, but I do remember the 2,000 pounds part because I remember we had like, big screen TVs back then were the projection type, they were like a huge box with a speaker system on the bottom, and it was like a projection style TV, and those things were very heavy.
And even before the big screen, me and you grew up, those millennials, we grew up with a traditional old style TV, like a box TV.
Yep.
And it was so small. Sometimes when I see one and I'm like, we used to sit across the room from that TV and watch like Hollywood blockbuster movies on it,
Yep.
Now it's like I could never do that.
We'll say it was like maybe a 24 inch, something like that, just a little tube TV. But yeah, it sat on top of my dresser and then I laid in bed and watched.
Yep. We don't need your life story though, so real back.
Oh, you were asking for it at the beginning of the show.
No, I did not. In the year 2000, how much do you think a plasma TV cost?
Plasma TV? in the year
which
2000.
aren't even really a thing anymore. But back then, it was the newest technology.
Yeah, it was because I think that was one of the first TVs they could do flat screens with. I mean, that with LCD, but LCDs I don't think were as flat. Plasma, gosh, I mean, in 2000, I'm gonna guess probably $3,000 to $4,000.
$10,000.
10,000.
The average plasma. And you can go today and
What
get
size? Like 55 inch or something?
It doesn't say. It just says the average.
Oh, wow.
But you can go into a store today, like Walmart, and buy like an 80-inch super high def TV for like less than $1,000. Maybe not 80-inch, but 70-inch for less than $1,000.
Well, you can't get like a state of the art like.
You can't get top of the line, but you
could get an LED TV that probably is
4K
high def. Yeah. Well, maybe 4K. Yeah,
no, you definitely can. I bought a TV recently. I was in the market, and there were so many good quality 4K TVs for like even less than $700. You can get a 40-inch 4K TV for like $300. And the first LCD models that came out in 2005 cost $4,000 on average. It's just crazy how much it's changed.
Yeah.
And maybe that has something to do with why they were so hot last year at Walmart, because the price goes down. I think TVs are the #1 Black Friday item.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So that might have something to do with it. What else might be sold on Black Friday related to TVs?
Blu-ray players?
No, but you're in sniffing distance. I don't think Blu-ray players, people buy those anymore.
Yeah, well, now it's like Amazon Fire Sticks and like...
You don't say. Amazon Fire Stick. What else might be very similar to that?
I'm trying to remember the thing. Well, I bought it for my mom. I'm trying to remember what it was called.
This is Google Chromecast.
The Chromecast, really?
Chromecast, 5th best-selling item last year. I have to think that's a lot of like Black Friday shopping and stuff. I mean, and they're so cheap. I mean, I think they're $30.
What number was Chromecast?
Number 5. It's a real entry-level digital media streaming device.
Yeah. Nowadays, though, you can just buy like a Roku TV and it comes with its own little, very simple remote that has a Netflix button, that has a Hulu button, and it's easy to understand.
But as of 2017, so this is a few years old, but it's the latest I could find. As of 2017, there's 55 million Chromecast devices that have been sold, most of them at Walmart.
Did you say that this was a hot item at Black Friday, or were you just using that as... Like, they were $30. Are you really waiting for Black Friday to save $10 on a $30 Chromecast?
Steven, I don't know, man. If you've seen some of those Black Friday sales, it's like... Black Friday, there's a lot of good sales, but some of it is... I think some of it is like, I'm not in the market for a Chromecast, but like you walk into a Walmart on Black Friday, and there's like Chromecast stations around the store. Same with like...
I just don't know who's walking into Walmart on Black Friday unless you're planning to be there, though.
I think a Chromecast is something you pick up while you're there. It's not like the reason you went to Walmart, right?
Yeah.
And you got to remember this also includes online sales.
Okay.
You have number 8 paper towel, 7 disposable washcloth, 6 flushable wipe, 5 Chromecast, 4 television, 2 toilet paper, and 1 bananas. Before you give another guess, I wanted to pause and read you a few responses that I got from Twitter and Instagram. I asked my followers at the Nickamel, I said, when you hear the word Walmart, what's one word that comes to mind? I gave no other prompts than that. I didn't say, tell me something bad, something good. I just said, what's one word? Overwhelmingly negative responses here. Insensitive Culture on Instagram said, nope. Dear Bastard on Twitter said, America. I guess that's not bad, but it's like kind of,
It's backhanded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shelly on Instagram also said America. A lot of people said that. From Cause of Death on Twitter said sweatpants and Buttcracks. That's actually 3 words, but...
That makes me think of, did you see that that guy that went to Magic the Gathering tournaments and like posed in front of all of these people that were playing in the tournament with their ass crack exposed? And he like took a picture next to all of them.
Oh, like they weren't posing on purpose. Their ass cracks were just
No, they were playing
out.
Magic. Their ass cracks were naturally out. And then this guy would go down and like do this like a praying like pose, and he would pose in front of them or behind them. They didn't know, and he took the picture.
That's amazing.
You should look it up. I want to say he got some flack for it. I want to say something happened to the guy. I can't remember, but you have to look it up. It's pretty funny.
I'll look it up.
I might send it to you.
I'll share a link in the show notes too, if anyone wants to see butt cracks of Magic the Gathering players. Pocket Full of Pizza Crust on Twitter said pajama pants. And that makes sense. I mean, when you think of Walmart, when I think of someone shopping at Walmart, I think of pajama pants. It's true. Or sweatpants, right? Like no one's going in there in their tuxedo.
No.
or their Sunday best.
It's definitely its own type of zoo. There's a lot of people watching to be done
It's
at a
true.
Walmart.
Sunday Punchline on Instagram said their one word is anti-labor. Talk more about that soon.
Have you ever felt that your life has no meaning? Do you wake up in the morning dreading the day ahead? Do you feel lost? I'm Tanner Campbell, host of the podcast Practical Stoicism. Every Saturday morning, I explore the ancient texts of Stoicism and derive from them practical takeaways that anyone can implement to live a more contented and fulfilling life. Search your podcast listening app of choice for Practical Stoicism and join me each week to explore Stoicism practically and discover how it can help you live better.
Welcome to the I Can't Sleep podcast with Benjamin Boster. If you're tired of sleepless nights, you'll love the I Can't Sleep podcast. I help quiet your mind by reading random articles from across the web to bore you to sleep with my soothing voice. Each episode provides enough interesting content to hold your attention, and then your mind lets you drift off. Find it wherever you get your podcasts. That's I Can't Sleep with Benjamin Boster.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be buried in an avalanche?
Weird foreign feeling of despair.
Or how it feels to crash a skydive?
I remember feeling my body hit the ground.
These are the stories you'll hear on the podcast called What Was That Like? True stories told by the actual person who went through it. And you'll hear actual 911 calls.
911, there's a man at my back door trying to get in.
Search for What Was That Like on any podcast app or at whatwasthatlike.com.
Psst. Want to skip ads like that in the future? Go to tennispod.com/plus. Sign up and you'll never hear an ad on Tennis Podcast again. Steven, give me another guess.
All right, so I'm going to start moving into the kitchen a little bit, and I'm wondering if silverware or maybe plates or something like that is on the list.
You were right to move to the kitchen, but you're wrong so far. Number 3 is the one that was hardest for me to believe.
I was going to guess knives.
No, it's more expensive.
All right. Oh, more expensive? Oh, well, I was going to guess appliances too, but...
This is an appliance.
So like a blender, maybe?
No, but this would sit on the counter.
A Newegg.
What's that? Is that like a...
It's like a coffee...
No.
Or not Newegg. What are those called? They're not... That Newegg's a website for computer shit. What are they called? It's the little coffee machines.
Keurig.
Yeah. Keurig.
No, good guess. This is a slow cooker.
A slow cooker.
It's like a crock pot, right?
Yeah. I'm just kind of surprised.
I'm surprised. That's like, I don't know, man. It's number 3. The third best selling thing Walmart sold. The only thing I can think of is, again, the Black Friday thing where they had this on sale and it like drove up the sales. I don't know.
I'm not like totally surprised by it, but I feel like I think air fryers are very hot right now, and I'm kind of surprised that air fryer isn't above slow cooker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have an air fryer. You know, I air fry the bodies of my victims there. But, Steven...
The severed limbs that you bought at Toys R Us?
At Walmart, Steven. Oh, wait, maybe it was Toys R Us.
Yeah, we said Toys R Us. Well,
You said Toys R Us.
Yeah,
was that before or after we talked about old Walmart greeters assembling into a mega greeter?
I don't know. It all kind of blurs together for me.
Steven, how do you think the booming slow cooker market is impacting the fast cooker market? You ever think about that? Why don't we have fast cookers out there? Who wants the slow? This feels like a stand-up comedy bit. It should be, right? Someone needs to make a bit about where are the fast cookers. Why do we want slow cookers, right? Jerry? You listening, Jerry Seinfeld? Yeah. You cook, Steven?
Yep. Every day. I meal prep on Sundays for my lunches through the week, and then I make dinner every night.
So you think you're better than the rest of us, is that it?
Nope. Sometimes.
You think you are more impressive than us, right? Not only can you guess 10 items out of 75 million on a Walmart list, but you also cook your fancy meals every night.
I also make my own food.
Wow. Like what? What's your favorite thing you make?
A favorite? What's your favorite thing to cook?
Strawberry Pop-Tarts. Out of the freezer. It's this weird thing. It tastes like ice cream. Steven, you got just number 10 and 9 left.
Yeah. I was going to guess towels, too, but now I don't know if that's on there.
No, but
What about like home improvement stuff, like paint or hammers, nails?
No, but the first part of that, the word home
Okay.
stuff. What's something that every human has in their home and they use every day?
A door.
No. Not all of us use doors, Stephen. I took all the doors off my hinges. I don't believe in them anymore.
Oh, you did? My stepdad would do that.
Well, yeah. I had him come over and show me how to do it. You imagine me hanging out with your stepdad.
All right, something that every single person has in their home.
And they use it every day without fail. Every human that lives in a home uses this every day.
I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this.
I can see it in your video right now.
A bed?
What's on your bed?
A blanket?
What's next to your blanket?
A pillow?
A pillow!
God damn.
Pillows are number 10, Stephen.
When you leave it so wide open like that, I just start thinking of all this stuff. I struggle narrowing it down.
It's a good thing you didn't like start naming off all the sex toys strewn around your room.
Yeah, well, I was purposeful. I didn't want the listeners to know.
Yeah.
That's something they have to pay for the bonus for.
Tennispod.com/plus for the bonus content.
So pillows was 9 or 10?
10.
Hmm.
Stephen, what is there to say about pillows?
They're great. Gotta have one.
Do you like it firm or soft? Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. If it's too soft, I feel like I'm not getting any support. I feel like I may as well just be sleeping without one. But too firm and it's not, I don't like sleeping on a rock. So somewhere in between.
I like them soft. And, if they ever run out of wool or soft material to fill a pillow with, cotton, I don't know what's in there. They can always slice off some of that booty cheek from Dr. Buster. Just fill that. Got enough to go around.
I mean, this isn't an admission, but I'm just, imagine what it would be like to just take a nap on Buster's ass. Just think about it for a second.
That's nice.
Maybe he's laying there unsuspectingly.
But it's also dangerous. Like, it'd be very comfortable because of the soft, cushiony nature. But, like, if you roll the wrong way, think about, like, sleeping on the edge of a cliff, right? If you roll the wrong way, you could go tumbling down.
You just fall in.
You just fall right in. You got to really be careful. But, Stephen, what percentage of your annual income have you donated to the My Pillow guys' fight against election fraud?
Well, I had to tone it down lately. I felt like I was giving a little too much. I wasn't saving enough for myself, so...
Plus, you got to donate 10% to the church, right, for tithing.
Well, that goes without saying. It was 75%, but now I had to knock it down to 73%.
Wow. And how do you expect Mr. Trump and Mr. Mike Lindell, the Pillow guy, to fight election fraud without your financial support, Stephen?
I'm giving all I can.
That's still a thing,
Is it really?
Yeah. So that's number 10, pillows. Anything else you want to say about pillows, Stephen? I don't want to cut you off. Any hot takes?
No. I don't know if I have any hot takes on pillows. How often do you replace your pillows?
Good question. I don't know. Every 5 years? 10 years? I don't know.
Yeah.
You should do it more often.
I'm probably in that range. That's exactly where I was going with it. I feel like I should do it more often.
Because they kind of lose their effectiveness after a while.
They do. And over time, you take off the pillowcase and you see that it's not like pristine anymore and it's got some spots on it or something. You're like, ugh. But then you put the pillowcase back on. Out of sight, out of mind.
It's true. You probably wash your pillowcase as often as you use those dry, what did you call them? The dry cloth. The dryer cloths.
Dryer sheets?
Dryer sheets, thank you.
Yeah. Do you use dryer sheets?
No.
You don't?
No.
Do you use like the fabric softener when you put them in
Yeah.
the... Oh, okay.
You don't?
No. My mom always told me I should, but I don't.
We're learning a lot about you today, Stephen. Some things were better left unsaid, I think. Well, before you guess number 9, which will be impossible for you to guess, let me read you some good and then some bad things about Walmart, okay? Here's some good. These are all just some random order here. In the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in 2005, Walmart used its logistics network to organize a rapid response to the disaster, donating $20 million, 1,500 truckloads of merchandise, food for 100,000 meals, and the promise of a job for every one of its displaced workers. That's nice, right?
That is wonderful.
They're using that network, logistics network, like the planes that they would transport their employee military warriors in.
Who will assemble into the gigantic...
Walmart greeters can check your receipts.
Killing machine.
So that was good. Now let me read you something bad. As Walmart expanded rapidly into the world's largest corporation, many critics worry about its effect on local communities, particularly small towns with many, quote, mom-and-pop stores. There have been several studies on the economic impact of Walmart on small towns and local businesses, jobs, and taxpayers. How do you feel about Walmart's coming into town and putting the others out of business?
That's been something that's been talked about for a long time. I remember even when we were kids, they talked about that. But it's like...
Uh-oh, he's about to drop a hot take. I can feel it.
I'm not going to drop a hot take. I just remember when we were in school and they would teach how monopolies were terrible. And it was like anti-capitalism to have monopolies because it defeated the purpose. And yet that's all we fucking live in right now is monopolies. And Walmart is one of them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't disagree.
And Disney's equally, Disney's in that same category.
Well, they all are. All these major conglomerates.
Yeah, all the big ones. Yeah.
You don't become a billionaire or, whatever without doing that. That's capitalism.
Yep. There is no free market. It's just Walmart's market and Amazon and everyone else fighting over the scraps.
Anyway, changing gears. In January 2023, Walmart announced, this is the good one. Walmart announced it would raise its minimum wage for U.S. hourly workers from $12 to $14 an hour. And the overall average wage at Walmart is $17.50.
So they've increased wages, but, even that is not, I don't feel like it's enough. But the thing is, you mentioned earlier about how many employees that they had, but how many...
2.2 million.
How many jobs do you think have been displaced by this whole self-checkout? Because now one employee can manage like 10 cash registers instead of one.
Yeah, I didn't put this in my notes, but when I was researching, I came across something that said Walmart is slowly rolling out automated cleaning crew as well.
Oh.
So they don't have to hire like janitorial staff to clean up at night.
So they're just going to buy a bunch of Roombas? You're going to walk into Walmart at 3 a.m., a bunch of Roombas scattering all over the ground?
If I wanted to do that, I'd just walk into my own fucking house at 3 a.m. and trip over the Roomba.
What do your cats think about the Roomba?
They don't give a fuck.
They don't?
Like, the first time they saw it, they were very curious. But since then, they don't even notice it. It literally will, like, roll right past them while they're laying, and they don't care. Same with my dog, honestly. My dog will bark at, like, the big, full-size vacuum, but he never barks at the Roomba. It's weird. You have a Roomba at your place?
We have one, but we never use it.
Right, because you're living in filth and squalor.
Yep. We don't have a lot of carpet, just in the bedrooms, I guess.
Oh, you're right. Hard floors never need cleaning either. You're right. I forgot.
Well, we sweep them.
With a broom?
Yeah. Sweeping them up.
Ugh. It's just so much time you could be saving by vacuuming it.
You think?
I hate sweeping.
I don't mind it.
All right, this is a riveting conversation. I'm going to move us along.
Jump on it, ride it around like a witch.
All right, well, let's just stay here on this topic for a minute, because I like that. Steven, how often do you ride your broom around like a witch? Does it actually ride like a witch, or do you just pretend it's riding like a witch?
So I do it once a month, but when I really get in the mood, you cuddle up on the couch on a Saturday night and you throw on Harry Potter, you get the hankering to ride on a broom.
Yeah. What's that sports game they had on Harry Potter?
Quidditch.
Quidditch? Yeah, you play that?
Yep. With Gracie.
Your cat.
Yep. I throw around a little ball to call it the snitch, and she's hitting it around.
Now that part
Chasing
I believe. Yeah. But she's not on a broom, so it's not really a fair fight.
She's quick, though.
Okay. Well, Steven, let me tell you something bad about Walmart.
Okay.
In April 2016, Walmart announced that it plans to eliminate eggs from battery cages from its supply chain by 2025. So think about it. These are cages that house chickens where the chickens are all on top of each other. This is like, the thing you always hear about with chickens. They say they're going to eliminate that by 2025. The decision was particularly important because of Walmart's large market share and influence on the rest of the industry. So if Walmart does this, it's likely others will follow suit. The move was praised by animal welfare groups, but a poultry trade group representative expressed skepticism about the decision's impact because Walmart's cage-free eggs will not come from free-range producers, but rather industrial-scale farms. So unlike battery cages, which is the bad ones, the systems of Walmart suppliers allow the hens to move around, but relative to battery cages, they have higher hen mortality rates and present distinct environmental and worker health problems. It leads to cannibalism among the chickens. So they have more space than the battery cages, but they're still in tight cages. I don't know why that leads to cannibalism, but that's what it said.
I don't know why it does either. I feel so, depressed when I hear all these things about all these animals, but I'll still go buy chicken. So I don't...
Exactly.
I guess the answer is lab-grown stuff. I don't know how you eliminate the animal cruelty from it, because even if they're free-range, you're still just raising them to kill them. I don't know.
Yep. I know, man.
Imagine how horrified human beings would be if we just, like, somehow looked in a telescope and saw another planet and human beings were chickens on another planet.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why, like, some countries still eat dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, that I can't get, because a dog is, like, highly intelligent, although they say chickens are smarter than we think.
It's
So,
how do you define the intelligence? I don't know.
whether or not it listens to Tennis Podcast. If it listens to Tennis Podcast, we know it's a smart dog.
Chicken, if you're listening to this, unsubscribe from the show.
Unsubscribe. All right, but for some good news. In 2006, American newspaper columnist George Will stated that in terms of economic effects, Walmart and its effects, as in its low prices, save shoppers more than $200 billion a year, dwarfing such government programs as food stamps, which save people $29 billion a year. So they're saying that Walmart's low prices allow lower income people to shop there and save more money than they actually benefit from saving in food stamps. So that's something, right?
It's something. It's a very complex issue. I don't know. Would you rather have one big Walmart or a whole bunch of small mom and pop shops? I don't know. It's I don't know. I don't have all the answers.
Walmart is better for low income people to shop, because the mom and pop stores have to charge more.
I guess, but if there were more of them, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not an economist.
I'm not either.
Surprisingly. So let's talk about guns, Stephen. As of 2019, Walmart was a major retailer of firearms and ammunition, but do you remember in 2019 the El Paso shooting that happened at a Walmart killed 23 people? And Walmart said that it would stop selling all handgun ammunition and certain short-barreled rifle ammunition. The move was expected to reduce Walmart's U.S. market share in ammunition from 20% to 6%. So Walmart had 20% of the U.S. market share in ammunition sales. Walmart also stated that it was respectfully requesting that customers not open carry in Walmart stores, although there is no explicit rule against it.
I've never bought a gun. Never bought a gun at Walmart, but I imagine if I did own a gun, I'm not even sure where I would go to go buy the ammunition, if not a Walmart. I'm not sure where I would go. I guess if there's a local gun store or something.
Well, there are definitely local gun stores, especially out here. Colorado's big on guns, aren't they?
I think so.
All right. One more thing before you take your final guess, and that is that there are stories out there that babies have been born, people have been married, people have died, all inside a Walmart.
I understand the first one. If the water breaks near a Walmart, you got to do it. You got to do it. I guess
So Stephen giving birthing advice now. Okay.
I'm not as surprised by that. If somebody died in a Walmart, I guess I could see that.
Well,
but why the hell would anybody get married in a Walmart? That's the one I just can't. That's the one I can't wrap my head around.
You just don't understand because you're not married. It's the romance. It's the beauty of walking into the Walmart and looking to your left and seeing Dr. Pepper for sale, and looking to your right.
Are you getting married and there's like customers walking around? Like, do you have to buy out the Walmart?
Do you know how much money it would
work?
cost to buy out a Walmart for a day?
That's why I don't understand.
I think there's people in there.
You want anybody just walking by as you're saying your vows and
yeah,
Joe Schmo to heckle you, and
you got to share your love with the world, Stephen.
Do you remember when, I can't remember if you were with us, when we would hide inside the clothing racks with like a little tube, the water tubes that you could ride on in a pool like the alligator, and you would just pop it out at somebody right as they were looking at the clothing?
Fucking Christ. You know, one of these days, you, me, and Buster should do an episode where we just talk about all this shit.
So what if you were saying your vows and you're getting married and somebody walks up and wants to throw a little noodle in your face? Throw one of the balls?
This comes with the territory. When you're getting married at a Walmart, you know to expect.
You accept the risks.
But the reward is so great because when you're done getting married, you don't have to get a caterer. You just walk over to the Walmart deli and just order yourself a sandwich. And you don't need to go to a baker to get a cake because you just walk over to the bakery and get a nice little birthday cake.
Say your I do's and then, honey, I forgot we need bananas and toilet paper.
And for your honeymoon, you just go to the camping section.
Camp in the parking lot, or
don't they have tents there and shit? I don't know. Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Well, Stephen, number 9 is something you might bring on a camping trip. This will be a tough one to guess.
I had a guess earlier, and then we started talking, and I lost my train of thought. This is your fault.
So you could find this in the kitchen. Usually leaves the kitchen, but that's where it starts.
Trash bags?
Nope.
Oh.
These are really big. This is like a
guess.
trend. Did you just tell yourself it was a good guess?
It was a good guess.
I mean, it was, but when you tell yourself it's a good guess, it's a little less impressive.
Well, you didn't say it. I had to say it for you. Ziploc bags.
No Ziploc bags. Another great guess. I would have expected both of those to be higher than this.
Yeah.
You drink out of this.
Oh, is it a cup or is it like a water bottle?
It's a tumbler.
Like a tumbler.
It's a refillable water bottle, essentially.
Yeah.
Or people use them for coffee, I think, too. Sports drinks.
That doesn't really surprise me, I guess.
I mean, more than like trash bags, though. Number 9, insulated tumblers.
I have a few.
Oh, a few? What are you, rich?
Mm-hmm. One sits at work, one's here, and then I have like a big one that won't fit in the car, so I have a smaller one so it will fit in the car. I bought a couple because I would use them for coffee, and I would take them to job sites.
Are you a big coffee drinker?
Didn't used to be, but I am now.
I do not like it.
Work recently bought a new little fancy coffee machine that grinds the beans and does the cappuccino and everything right there for you. So
Are you grinding my beans with this fake story?
You're grinding my gears by questioning my story.
Well, let me grind your gears here, because we're done. We did the top 10. Are you as impressed with yourself as you thought you'd be when you first said it?
Even more impressed.
Is that right?
People at home, tweet Nick and let him know how impressed you are.
Please do. I would love that. Please tweet Nick. Let him know that you're impressed with Steven's guessing.
I mean, let's just put it into perspective. 75 million.
Yeah, but one could say that the guessing was not as impressive as the hint giving from the list curator.
One could say.
I was able to narrow down the 75 million into guessable items for you.
You guided me to the truth.
I did. Let me guide you through the truth of this list. Pillow at number 10. 9 is the insulated tumblers. 8, paper towels.
Do you think people ever tumble down cliffs while they're drinking out of a tumbler?
I think if you were to fall asleep on Dr. Buster's ass like we talked about, you could tumble down that with your tumbler pretty easily. Why is it called a tumbler? There's nothing tumbly about it.
You know, it's tumbling around some fancy insulation to keep your drink cold. It's tumbling around those molecules.
Those molecules. I think it's getting late here. Number 7, you could clean the molecules with your disposable washcloth. Number 6 is the flushable wipes that aren't actually flushable, everybody. Number 5 is the Google Chromecast. Number 4 is your television set. Number 3 is, to me, the biggest surprise in the top 10, the slow cooker. And I still want to hear that stand-up comedy bit about the fast cookers. Where's the fast cookers at, Steven? Why can't I put my pot roast in the fast cooker? All right, I'm going to keep working on that, workshop it. Number 2 is the toilet paper. And number 1 is banana.
To me, number 1 is banana. It doesn't surprise me that it's in the top 10. It just surprises me that it's number 1. I do get bananas every time I go to the store.
So do I.
It's like my breakfast, but I guess that's a lot of people, apparently.
Well, bananas are the number 1 selling thing at the number 1 selling company in the world. So yeah, I think a lot of people are having it. And well, the great thing about bananas is they're good all year round, you know? Or good enough anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Steven, you did it. First top 10 list. Do you think we should have you back on?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm just going to wait for the feedback from the people at home who are going to cast their Twitter votes on how impressed they were.
Okay. Steven, what else should we tell the people before we leave? Any PSAs?
No, just going to remind everybody to make sure you bounce over to those bonus episodes for that intimate encounter with the spiders.
Steven having sexual intercourse with a spider.
If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. That's the best ad I've ever heard. Should have it at the Super Bowl.
I want people to visualize it. Visualize a grown man fucking a spider. I can't. Okay. Well, for more Steven fucking spider talk, listen to the bonus episode he did. It was actually the top 10 heaviest Pokemon we did. And Steven, you're going to be back on a bonus episode next month. And I'm sure we'll have you back on the main feed here soon as well.
Well, if I can fit it into my schedule.
Sure. When you're not doing all your fancy cooking and you're not buying all your bananas and everything else you said.
Freezing my Pop-Tarts.
Freezing your Pop-Tarts.
Yep.
I want to know. Does anyone else out there freeze your Pop-Tarts? That I sincerely want to know. I've never heard of that. Because the whole thing is that it's got like a pastry feel to it. It is a pastry.
Yeah, to me, the whole point of a Pop-Tart is you'd either eat it or heat it up.
Exactly.
Freezing it was completely the other way. Didn't even consider it. But folks at home, give it a shot.
No, folks, you do not feel pressured to give that a shot. You don't need to try everything you're told. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for listening. That's Steven over there. I'm Nick. This has been episode number 211. I'll be back very soon with another top 10-ish list for your listening pleasure. Goodbye.
See ya.
Are you fascinated by unexplainable crimes, conspiracies, and fringe culture? Well, step into the crawl space. From tales of survival and deepfakes to synchronicities and cryptozoology, Crawl Space is a podcast that brings you weekly stories of the mysterious, harrowing, and bizarre. Search Crawl Space wherever you listen to podcasts. Crawl Space, where crime meets culture.
Hey everyone, I'm Sean.
And I'm Joe.
And we are the hosts of The Horror Show, the show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite cult classics and horror movies.
Join us every week as we pick another movie that we try desperately to find the good in while laughing our way through the bad.
And there's a lot of bad. So join us every week on any of your favorite podcasting apps and services, or find us at IHateHorror.com or on Instagram at IHateHorror. Adios!